Starcross TV, enlightening station.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Morning Star Breakfast Show, brought to you by Starcross TV. My name is David Eric. Today happens to be the 11th day in the month of February 2026. As time keeps going down, definitely our expectations are rising so fast. Once again, you're welcome to the Morning Star Breakfast Show on Starcross Television, and we are live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, so do well to join our conversation. This is the month of love, a very beautiful month our Father has made for us. So we'll be approaching the 14th day in the month of February. We all understand that that is the day where our Father says an anger-free day. We might not be on your screen on Morning Star Breakfast Show, but definitely we'll be covering up activities that will be coming up on that particular day. So once again, you're welcome to the Morning Star Breakfast Show. And with me, I have my beautiful, amazing, wonderful, and exceptional colleagues here with me on set. They are all ladies for your information. So from my far right, I have with me my beautiful and wonderful colleague. She's very unique at the things she does. Her name is Stella Obina. Good morning to you, Stella.
Good morning to you, brother David Eric. How are you doing this amazing Wednesday morning?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
Okay, good morning to all our esteemed viewers. Thank you so very much for always staying glued to Starcross Television. Thank you for always being there for us, because we cannot be here if you are not there. So we really do appreciate your consistency. We appreciate your effort. We appreciate everything you do for Starcross Television. Keep supporting Starcross TV, God's own TV, for your own immense blessing. So here am I telling you to always surround yourself with people who pushes you to be your very best self. Always surround yourself with positive-minded people, not the ones who will be making you to look less, or to look at yourself as if you're a nobody or this or that, pushing you to do negative things. Nah. Always surround yourself with positive-minded people so that you can also be counted amongst the very best, because it is said that you should show me your friend and I will tell you whom you are. Definitely. So thank you so very much. This episode promises to be an enlightening one. Thank you so very much. I remain Stella Obina.
All right, thank you so much. I have a lot of things to see from the quote you just gave out, but I think that would be after introducing the one who is fabulous in the things she does. She's very close to us. Her name is Peace Smith. Good morning to you, Sister Peace.
Good morning to you, Brother David Eric. How are you doing?
I am beautiful. Thank you so much.
I can see you looking great.
Thank you.
All right, good morning to you, Stella.
Good morning. I'm good.
I can see that. All right, to our wonderful audience, good morning to you. Yes, every morning is the start of a new chapter, so make it great. Seize all the possibilities that this morning, or this day will present to you. And of course, whatever you do, ensure that you put it in prayer. Let God take the lead while you follow. So good morning to you once again, and many thanks for joining us on the Morning Star Breakfast Show.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Sister Stella, in your speech, you did say that show me your friends, and I will tell you who you are. Do you think that really implies?
No, not in all cases, not in all circumstances. It depends on the individual. Most times people would say their friends, most times people would always say that their friends make them do the things they do. The thing is, as an individual, if you know your roots, you know where you came from, you know the kind of family you came from, you know the kind of discipline instilled in you by your parents or your guardians or anywhere you came from, you will know what to do at a particular point in time. Whether or not you come across people with negative mindsets, people who do things differently, you shouldn't be what should I use? You shouldn't be made to do the things you know very well that those things are not good. Yeah. In the eyes of the society, if your parents should hear that Okon did this, they'll be like, no, it is not Okon that I groomed or not Okon that I trained. Yeah. So most times, that philosophy or that saying, it's not out of 100%, I'll give it a 30%.
Are you serious?
I'll give it a 30% because it does not imply in all cases. Like I mentioned, it depends on the individual. You should know yourself first. You get so that whether or not you surround yourself with negative-minded persons or positive-minded persons, you know how to blend. And you do not, most times when you find yourselves in the midst of negative-minded persons, you yourself, you even tend to, you tend to overwhelm them. Do you get? You tend to, if you're someone who is rightly groomed, and then you find yourself in the midst of friends who are poorly groomed, let me use that word, your own character, your own person should be able to overwhelm their negative mindsets. So that's why I said on a scale of 100, I'll give you the 30% because it is not in all circumstances.
All right, but I think I have an exception. They say birds of the same feather
Flock together.
Okay. Sister Peace, what is your exception on that aspect?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say, I think Stella said something very nice, important there, but I still beg to differ a bit because I believe that as a person, whoever you are, it's identified by whatever that is around you, like the set of persons around you.
Yeah.
I can't be a person who is always coordinated, and then you're seeing me all the time with the persons or group of persons that look disorganized and all of that. No. So I believe in that saying that birds of the same feather, flock together. So you are, sometimes they say you don't allow your friends to choose you. You choose your friends. So you cannot, if you're actually choosing someone who has a different character or attribute to whatever you have or to the home training you have, that means you're doing that because you are seeing the you have seen the possibility of changing that person. You have seen the possibility of overwhelming that person to actually toe a good line. I don't know if you understand. So for me, I believe that our friends, whoever surrounds us, is identified by the way we are. You cannot be this kind of person and you're always saying working with this kind of, it's not possible. So that's just it for me.
All right, thank you so much. I think at this point in time, it's a two-way thing. Yes, it's either they make you
or they admire you.
Definitely. All right, so we're going on a break, and when we come back, our topic of discourse is something very, very important and beautiful. But before our topic of discourse, we still have another discussion again. So join us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Before the mountains stood, before the rivers ran, he was and will forever be. He whispered existence through the void moved, the breath that stirred the waters, the voice that shattered the night. It is who he is. He is Olumba, not just a name, but the sound of all things breathing. He is the living breath of life. Hallelujah. Hosanna, amen. Peace unto the men of goodwill. For the ever luminous light has shone at dawn. Now we know darkness dwells only at dusk. Our sins he has erased. Our burdens are feathers before him. And once lifted, will only go higher. I call him our divine oasis in dreary deserts. He is the ever-guiding light, the ever-luminous light. He is Olumba, Olumba Obu. Let us rejoice. Our daydream of better days is now reality. Be exceedingly glad. Our wonderful passions has been lit and set ablaze. Our unswerving faith in him has earned us life anew, a rainbow of assured hope to heavenly eternity.
Perfect peace of the Father. I am 144 South Virgin Sister Ifunaya. I am here with my organist, Brother Roland Amadi. Listen and be blessed.
I was homeless and he gave
Many thanks for joining us. You're still watching the Morning Star Breakfast Show on Star Cross TV, and I'm still here with my beautiful and amazing colleagues here on set with me. I still have Sister Stella Obina.
Thank you.
And Sister Peace-Smith. Good to have you guys back.
Thank you so much.
All right, so before we went on the break, we just had a wonderful chat. Away from that, I did mention that the 14th day in the month of February is a very wonderful and beautiful and unique day our Father has made for us. History has it that this is the day where our Father says it is anger-free day. And to us, it is going to be on a Saturday. We might not be having a Morning Star Breakfast Show, but we'll be streaming the activities that will be happening here at the World Headquarters. Yes, so, but we want to talk about it, just spotlight it for a while before we move into our topic of discourse. So on this premise, I'll be leaving the floor for Sister Stella to give us one or two insights what will be happening come the day 14th in the month of February 2026.
Okay, thank you so very much, Brother David Eric. Thank you to our audience for staying glued to this wonderful episode. Our phone line is still displayed on your screen, and you can also join us via our social media handles, just so you contribute your meaningful quota to what we'll be discussing later on this amazing episode. Now, speaking on Power of Love, this is from the Universal Assembly of Brotherhood Artists in collaboration with the Senior Christ Servant Universal Natural Body. They are celebrating the power of love and also extending their heartfelt invitation to all children of God worldwide. They have very amazing highlights here to mark that day. First of all, there will be a street show that is season 2.0. This is because this street show started last year, and it was something very, very beautiful. And then they'll be having their 2.0 season this year at Watt Market and also at the BCS World Headquarters. They'll also be having a moment with the Universal Monarch and also free pick and win gift awards. You wouldn't want to miss that for anything. And then they also have powerful music renditions by choirs and exchange of gifts, and then the Power of Love main event and lots more. So you should endeavor to avail yourself at the BCS World Headquarters just so you also participate in this very amazing annual event. Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you so much for giving us that wonderful update. Away from that, Sister Peace, do you think that the Power of Love this year is going to be greater than that of last year?
Okay. I think every year comes with its own spirit.
Yeah.
So for this year, I think it's still going to take a different dimension. There is this saying that the higher it goes, the better it becomes.
True.
So I believe that the Power of Love celebration has been a long-standing event, and for this year's own, it promises to be very unique, very entertaining, very spiritual, blessings filled if you ask me. So looking at the highlights of the event, I would like to say that it's applauding. And I know that whatever that will be taking place this year, I won't say it will be more than last year, but I would say it will be in a different phase. So all brethren, wherever you are, please do well to find yourself and come, let's celebrate that day.
All right, thank you so much. All right, now we are moving into our topic of discourse. Remember, we had a little chat before now. We were looking at birds of the same feather. They flock together, and this has to do with emulation. So our topic of discourse is living a life worthy of emulation. Living a life worthy of emulation. Most persons are living a life not really worthy of emulation, not knowing that so many persons are copying their life and are practicing their lifestyle. But today we'll be looking at living a life worthy of emulation. So I want to start with my beautiful colleagues here on set. We will definitely different lines and see how we can marry at the same time for you to have a balance on this episode. So I would love to start with you from Sister Stella. What does it mean for you as an individual? You've gotten a capacity you have built at this point in time. What does it mean for you to live a life worthy of emulation?
Okay, it means striving to match or learn from someone else, people of great virtues and achievement, people who have achieved beautiful things in life. You know, it does not have anything to do with competing or trying to copy what someone is doing. It can also be linked to being a role model or looking up to someone as your role model. Emulation it doesn't have to do with you must at all costs be this person, because you don't even know what that person is doing to be who him or her is. You know, most times we try to copy, to be these copycats, and then we copy and copy and copy. Like, you just want to be whatever that person has, you want to have it. Whatever that person does, the way the person speaks, you want to emulate. You just want to do every single thing that person does. Not that it is 100% bad. As long as those things you are copying are of good, it is 100% okay. But do not do it as if you are competing with this person. Do not do it from the side of envy or jealousy. Like, you just want to, if this person tomorrow, he or she has the capability or the enablement to purchase a Prado Jeep tomorrow, you say, I must get that Prado Jeep.
It's your model, of course.
I must get that Prado Jeep. I must get this. Okay, this person, Mr. A, has this. I must also. That is competition. You're not emulating that person. So emulation in fact, it's very far from competition. It's very, very far from competition. It's just you striving to be a better version of yourself. You striving to also to be like someone else in a positive direction.
Okay. I thank God you had to use the word in a positive direction, because nowadays, when children, should I say, copy or imitate a particular person, the bad habits, they will not say you're emulating or you're following your role model. So at this particular point in time now, how do we vary emulation from imitation and from comparison? Over to you, Sister Peace.
All right, thank you so much, Brother David, Eric, and thank you, Sister Stella, for that explanation. Yeah, striving to embody qualities and values of people that you admire. Yeah. Now, you talked about imitation. I think that's where the confusion sometimes comes. Imitation and comparison. You're imitating someone, and when you're talking about imitating, you're copying the way the person talks.
Yes.
You're copying the way the person walks. You're copying, even sometimes you don't even copy the good characters. You are copying those bad ones. With the way the person was, that's how you feel like you should be working. The way the person dresses up, you feel like you should be dressing up. You just want to look like that person. You know, before you know it now, even the way you blink, you start blinking the way the person blinks, the way you twist your mouth. It's like, okay, I like the way Brother Eric is always keeping his mouth whenever he's talking, but I like the way Brother Eric is always blinking his eyes or keeping his face, whether he's keeping it wrong or not. You are just, you want to be that person the way the person is. That's imitation at that point. You are a copycat. Do you understand? Now, when it comes to comparison, now, you are comparing yourself. For example, Stella is tall. I would have loved to be tall. Like, at that point, you're seeing some of the characteristics in Stella's body that you feel you would want to. At that point, you are comparing yourself, not because you accept yourself the way you are, or the way you're being created by God. You're feeling like, God, why didn't you create me like Stella? Or why didn't you create me like Eric, sorry. Or why didn't you create me like that other person? At that point, you're comparing, and before you know it, envy sets in, jealousy sets in. You start feeling this inferiority complex. You are not yourself. So I feel at that point we should learn to understand the differences between emulating, imitation, and comparison. Now, emulating now. Sometimes people emulate the wrong characters of person, and they feel like, okay, that's correct. For example, you see this person doing pickpockets, and you feel like that's the best thing to do. Maybe this person is a role model, like Stella said. This is someone you have been looking up to. And then one day you saw the person trying to steal from another person, and you're feeling like that's the best thing to do just because, this is your role model. You want to imitate that person, the way that person works or behaves, not minding the fact that you can't be emulating something that is wrong, and you feel like, because this person is doing it, you have to do it. I feel at that point we shouldn't conflict emulation or imitation and comparison together. I don't know if I've actually answered your question.
You have, and it has driven my curiosity to another level. Now, we understand that emulation is not really famous. Like, we have a song in BCS that says, if you want to be a good master, emulate leader, Olumba, Olumba. We do not have a song that says, if you want to be this, imitate. It says emulate. But we have seen that the drive in emulation is low, but the strength in imitation is very, very high. How then did imitation get this famous that we cannot pursue it away by following emulation? Now look at the young ones, for example. If you give birth to a child, under your watch, you might think or feel that you know what this child can do. And if you do not keep your eyes on the ground, once the child steps outside, he starts imitating, not emulating. Remember, the child might not be even emulating to become like his father. He will start imitating to be like his friends, to work with his friends, to do this and do that. So how did imitation get higher grounds than emulation? Sister Stella?
Okay, thank you so very much. Now, we live in a society where people copy the wrong things mostly. Yes, people copy the wrong things. It is on a scale of 10%, for instance, it is, let's say 3% over 10, where people copy the right things. But you see those bad things, those negative vices, those are the things people really go for. Like you just mentioned, you just brought for the child into the world.
Yeah.
And then on your own, you feel, okay, you know this child so well that this child cannot do anything. Don't forget, as long as the child leaves the immediate environment, like as long as the child leaves his or her parents, he goes to a different society. Let's say the school, for instance, and in the school there are mixtures of both good, bad, and ugly. You get, you don't follow this child wherever he goes. You don't follow this child to school. Let's say, okay, you were able to groom this child from, say, the nursery session. You get, it's very rare for the child to have mixed blood in the nursery section. Let's say from the secondary session and then to the tertiary institution. That is where the bad bloods are always.
The unveiling is made.
That is where the bad bloods are on a very high rate. So in that situation, you can never be following your child to tertiary institution, to sit down in the classroom with the child, to know the kind of friends he or she may goes with. It is very rare, very, very rare. Now let's say this child mixes with both the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then he chooses. Why do you think that most times a child who is well created, well formed, walking straight, if he or she is that in the child bending? You know, those are the bad things that spread. It's the bad news that spreads.
Sorry, let me come in. So is it possible at any point in time for you to admire somebody and not have one of the bad traits? Like, for example, now, this person is a famous singer. He's known for singing beautifully. And you have said his posture is very, very...
Very okay.
Very okay. And all of a sudden, he starts bending because he wants to have should I say, a signature where people can recognize him. We see some of the worldly artists, they do not put on, they dress unpleasing. And now they are role models to so many persons. And these children want to imitate, not emulate, want to imitate them and be like them. And you see, they go all out to make sure they look like these persons. Why is it so?
That's why I said that the bad things spread. So it's just like bad news. Most times people tend to cover good news, good information. They want to cover, but you see the bad ones, they spread like wildfire.
True.
Now this child, not that thing he or she is imitating is the right thing. Yes, to him or she, they are doing the best things for themselves at that point in time.
True.
But to the eyes of the viewers, the eyes of the spectators, the eyes of his or her parents, they are not doing the right thing. So at that point in time, it behoves on either the guardians or the parents to withdraw or to tell him or her, this thing you are doing is not the right thing. He wants to be like this role model he's looking up to. This role model is someone who knows how to sing, knows how to write, knows how to do this, very intelligent, a smart kid in class and all of that. But the role model has a comma somewhere. It could be maybe that posture, or maybe a pickpocket, or maybe this, just something negative. And this child, being that he really, really wants, or he really, really admires this person, he really wants to be like this person, will copy both the good and the bad. Do you get?
Yes.
This child wants to copy both the good and the bad, thinking everything about that person. There's one thing about humans. When you like someone, you hardly notice the bad things this person does.
True.
That is very, 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 very plain. It is natural. When you like someone, naturally, you hardly notice that this thing this person is doing is wrong. This step this person is taking is a wrong step. But when you dislike someone, there is nothing pleasing about that person. Even if that person goes a long way to do 99 good things, the very one bad thing that person will do will just negate all the 99 good things. That is just how it is. I don't know who made that law, who made it that way. But that is just how it is naturally. That's just how it works naturally. So if this person seeing Mr. A as a role model, Mr. A is good in singing, good in this, good in that, but he is a pickpocket. That young man will never see that pickpocket as a bad thing. They want to coin it, you know, our Gen Z kind of coining things. They want to say, okay, it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, you know. That from being a normal thing, that you're seeing Mr. A as a role model, you're not becoming a pickpocket.
I'd like to come in there.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah.
I feel one of the things the society, or let me just start from the home.
Yeah.
One of the things the parents should look out for or to build in their children is to make them understand that they are perfect the way they are.
Okay, we have our first caller this morning. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning to you, Ma.
Good morning, Sister Gladys.
Good morning to you.
Thank you so much, Sister Gladys.
Thank you so very much, Sister Gladys, for joining us this morning and for also giving us your own take on our topic. Father bless you immensely.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Please stay glued to the program.
All right. Thank you so much. And a very big thank you to Sister Gladys for calling us in this morning. Please do well to stay glued to the program and keep, calling and sending your comment. This is a very beautiful topic that interests you and, of course, someone seated very next to you right now. All right. So like I was saying, that I think the parents have a greater job to play or to do at this point. First of all, right from the teenage age, you have to teach your children to understand that they're perfect the way they are.
Okay.
Like, if you're actually trying to, maybe if you have a role model, why not you look at the good qualities of that person? If you teach your children to be able to identify between good and bad, like pickpocketing is wrong. I'm sorry we are using the context of pickpocketing at this point. We know we have the diverse vices of acts here. So now, if you teach your child to know that, okay, this is the difference between good and bad. So when you see bad, you should be able to identify that this thing is bad. I think children would not try, in the process of emulating someone, you end up imitating the wrong thing at that point. Imagine we are talking about maybe walking or dressing wrongly, just because you like the way Eric is, maybe you like Eric as a TV presenter, let's put it that way. You feel like, oh, you want to be a TV presenter one day. And now you start laughing the way Eric laughs or the way Eric talks and all of that. At that point, you feel like you are imitating Eric at that point, and you cannot be your real self when you are talking about you as an individual. Now, there's something I wanted to say. When we are talking about imitation and emulation, I would like us to look at it this way. Because you asked the question, why is it that imitation is always like making rounds more than emulation or emulation? Now, imitation is like copying the surface. Whatever you're seeing, you're imitating the person, the way the person talks, the way the person dresses and all that. But emulation is copying the excellent aspect of that person. So I don't think at this point that evil or maybe the bad thing a person does or bad things that a person does, you should be, equated with emulation at that point. So if you are emulating someone, you are copying all the excellent attributes of that person. Maybe being kind, being forgiving, being a philanthropist, all those things, if you're trying to, maybe you like Eric and Eric is good in that aspect. Eric may be a TV presenter, but Eric is kind. Eric is a philanthropist. Eric is, always, sending those attributes that would impact the society or impact on people around him. I think that's emulation there. But in a society where everyone wants to be like another person, I think that's where copycat or
imitation.
Yes, imitation comes in.
All right, Mr. Peace, I am very curious about what you have said now. At what point do we need to gain consciousness that we are the persons that so many persons are looking up to? At what point do we know that we have to start living a life worthy of emulation? Is it from childhood, or is it from at the point where we have made a lot of mistakes, we want to say we want to start living a life worthy of emulation?
Okay, thank you so much. I have this little experience that happened to me.
Okay.
Then I was quite very young, like younger than this. I know I'm still young, but quite younger than this. I think I was in secondary school or early days of my university, something like that. Then I used to go to my mom's shop to help her. I didn't know that the way I was actually behaving, people were noticing. One day, an older man called me and was like, "You, this girl, I just like, your life is worthy of emulation." That's what he told me. I was like, "Sir, how?" He said, "I like the way you behave." Sincerely. And I was like, how do I behave? Like, I went back to ask myself, how do I behave? So now it could be maybe the way I greet and smile, because people say you smile a lot. So it could be maybe the way I greet and smile, the way I'm always, I don't know, humble. That's if I'm actually humble at all, and all of that. So you ask the question, at what point can we live a life worthy of emulation? I think right from when you start having the consciousness that you're a human being.
Because what I'm saying like this, most times our parents will say, "Can't you see that girl at a tender age? Can't you see Jane? Can't you see Peace? Can't you see? Look at what she..."
It's wrong at that point.
So should our parents force us to start living?
No. I think your duty, your responsibility as a parent is to correct your child and not to compare. Remember, we talked about comparison here. Because by the time you start saying, "Can't you look at that girl? Look at how she's helping the mom," and all of that. I know you're trying to make that child to learn the right character, the right attribute or something. But then you don't just bring another child comparing with your child. That means you as a parent, you have felt in your responsibility. I'm sorry to put it this way. Because by the time, that means you're like, okay, that parent is better than you. No, let's call a spade a spade. Because by the time you start telling me, "Can't you see that child? See how the child is doing. Can't you see this one?" That means you're already telling yourself, "Can't you see that parent? See how that parent is, treating that child well." So I feel it all starts from home. If you want to correct your child, there are better ways. You don't just compare them, because once you start comparing them, you have made them to start having this low
spirit of competition or something like that.
Spirit of competition, correct?
And low self-esteem.
Yes, low self-esteem. So rather you can say, use the Bible. That's why Sabbath class is so excellent for any child upbringing. Send that child to Sabbath class. And I know Sabbath handlers are not this type that should be comparing two children at the same time. I think I've never seen it. Even when I was the Sabbath, my handler don't compare us. So you only teach them what they need to know. If possible, compare them with our father. Our father does not like us doing like this. Our father does not. At least it makes that child to look up to the father and not to a follower. What if that child you are comparing with? Have you not seen a situation where that child, "My mommy, you were always comparing me with Abigail. Now look at how Abigail is." Do you understand?
Sure.
I can remember one day there was a child that the child is always reading. So one day my mom was trying to compare my brother. So it's like he wanted my brother to learn at that point. He told my brother, "Have you not seen that girl? She's always reading and all of that." And my brother said, "That girl is reading tourism." Like, it was a subject then. So one day that child came back from school and carried, I can't actually remember the position right now, but it was a very
An off point.
Something not to write home
wrong
about.
end position. Now, the mother of the child was just quarreling and all of that. And my brother came home with a very good result. And now when my brother overheard what transpired, my brother went to my mom and said, "Hey, mommy, she said that child that you were comparing me with, look at what that child came back with. And look at what." So sometimes I feel parents shouldn't be comparing and all of that.
All right, thank you so much. I need to ask this funny question, Sister Stella. Do you think comparison can boost our mindset of emulation?
If comparison can boost our mindset
For emulation?
for emulation. Well, most times, or just few times, yes. Just like she mentioned, if it happens in a case of siblings, for instance, or comparing one child to the other, it depends on how a parent does that comparison. Are you comparing this child to the other child with love and with the mindset that, okay, okay, now let's say, for instance, I did not groom this child from birth. This child was just brought to me to groom him or her. And then, because of how this child was groomed from birth, he or she does not do things at home. He or she does not study. He or she does not. He is this kind of person who plays a lot, who goes out anyhow, who does things anyhow. Don't forget, I never groomed this child from. That is where that healthy comparison comes in. Now, let's say you live in an open compound where, okay, there are children with good character and there are children with bad character. And then this your child who maybe you just happen to take this child from someone to take care of the child, copies the bad character or has the bad character already. In him or her. It is okay for you to compare this child with this other child who does the good things every time. That is a very healthy comparison that leads to good emulation. Can't you copy this? Okay, look at Mr. A's child. I am now telling this child under my custody, under my care. Look at Mr. A's child. This is what he or she does. Is it okay for you to do like this? Or I would also want you to be... That is a healthy comparison that can also lead to... There's nothing wrong. I'm coming from a different direction from what Sister P said. There's nothing wrong with you comparing this child from or with another child. That is if you are doing the right direction. You're doing it in a proper way. That child can also... There's a saying that imitation or... when you want to... There is a word. I want to do what they do. That is comparison, or that is imitation. And I want to be like them in my own way. That is emulation.
Yes.
That is emulation. I want to be like them, but in my own way. Do not go overboard. Do not do it just so that it will be so obvious that you are imitating this person. You're dotting the I's, the dot. You're crossing
like
everything.
TV presenter, you want to look like this.
You're
You're
dotting the I's the way they are dotting theirs.
Yeah.
You're crossing your T's the way they are it is so obvious that you are imitating them. Those are two different things. So comparison, yes, healthy comparisons can also lead to very good
So at the
imitations.
point you'll be a clone statue of the
You even
original.
forget yourself. Good. You even forget that you exist. You're existing in another person's body.
All right, thank you so much. I still have wonderful questions to ask, but we'll be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at some healthy steps in how to create a very good life worthy of emulation. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful segment. We're coming back, and when we come back, we'll continue this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Lord, mold me. Ida Olumba, mold me. Grace, Lord, mold me according to your will. I am the clay with mortar. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. I am the clay, great potter. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. Mold me, mold me, grace, Lord, mold me according to your will. I am the great potter, great Lord, mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. I am the clay, great potter. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. I am the clay, great potter. Mold me, Ida Olumba, mold me. Great Lord, mold me according to your will. Mold me, Ida Olumba, mold me. Great Lord, mold me according to your will. I am the clay, great potter. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. Mold me, mold me, mold me according to your will. I am the clay, great potter. Mold me, mold me,
Welcome back. Many thanks for joining us. You're still watching the Morning Star Breakfast Show, and I'm still here with my amazing and wonderful ladies on set. I have Sister Stella Obina and Sister
Thank you.
Peace
Thank you
Smith.
so
Good to
much.
have you guys back. So we have been looking at a very wonderful topic, living a life worthy of emulation, and we have looked at some key facts. We have looked at imitation, comparison, how unhealthy it is while you want to live a life worthy of emulation. We have also looked at a point whereby you have to gain consciousness to understand that so many persons are looking up to you. You have to take responsibility and try to live a life worthy of emulation. At this point in time, you cannot live a life worthy of emulation if you do not know the steps to take in living a life worthy of emulation. So I'd love to bring in Sister Stella into the discussion, and also Sister Peace. What are those basic steps we need to take? First bold step we need to take for us to live a life worthy of emulation, not imitation and comparison. Sister Stella, over to you.
Okay. First of all, the steps, one of the most important steps is identifying your values. Yeah, you should be able, yes, there's someone you are looking up to, there's someone you really do admire the things he does, the things he says, the way he acts, the way he dresses, the way he does, the way he walks. You just admire basically everything about this person. But you should be able to have a niche according you should be able to have a niche. Know the ones that suit
Area of
you the
interest.
most.
Yes.
Know the ones that suit you. It's not everything you should copy or you should emulate from someone. Just like we mentioned that it could be that this person, yes, is a role model. The person has both the good and the bad characters, and you just want to copy everything. You just want to emulate everything this person does, both the good ones and the bad ones. No. So in this process, one of the major steps is identify the values. Identify the basic things you really do love in this person. That, okay, if I should carry out all of this, if I should carry out all of these things this person is doing, another person will also see me and then like this thing I am doing, and the person will also, that the emulation process will become very long, that you have a long rope of plenty persons emulating ourselves, or emulating like it's going to be like a circle.
Yeah.
So the very first step is for you to identify the values that really relate to you as a person. And then the second thing is you find your role model. If, okay, the very best role model in this life is God. He is the one you should know how to emulate very well, because in his pattern of being a role model, he doesn't do the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
He does just the good. So, like you mentioned, there's a music in BCS that says,
If you want to be a good
if you
master.
want to be a good master, that links up to servant leadership.
Yes.
Our God is, he is the master. He is the savior of the universe. He is everything embedded in every good thing. But he is still a servant.
Yeah.
Yes, because his own pattern of leadership is servant leadership. He does not just sit there and say, okay, since I am the ruler of the world, I am this, I am that, I should not tilt to this angle, I should not do this. You remember the early stories of leader Olumba Obu,
Yes.
when some group of persons came to pay him homage, and then they met him sweeping, not knowing he was a person. They asked him, they wanted to see the master, not knowing he was a master himself. Simply because they met him sweeping, they thought maybe he was one of the cleaners in the compound. So that is one very good virtue, or steps of emulating, life of emulation rather. And then the next one is reflect and learn. This implies you studying the qualities, the actions and decisions of these persons you're emulating from, of these your role models. You shouldn't just be, yes, I want to emulate this person, and then you, from you being, or you emulating from these persons, you go a long way to do the extra. You go a long way to, let's say, do things you're not supposed to do. Emulate the ones you're not supposed to emulate. If you really want to be, if you really want to emulate things or someone, you should emulate the right steps. You should take the right process, and not being a copycat, living from, like, what should I say? Forgetting the part of emulation to tilting to the part of imitation. You imitate, and just like maybe during exams when someone wants to copy from you,
Yeah.
like when you're sitting
Copy
with,
it yourself.
but like, when you're sitting with someone who knows how to copy very well, the person will copy and forget that first thing you've written on that sheet is your name.
Put
The
your
person,
metric number.
the person will copy and copy. That means you're living in that person's image. You've even forgotten about your own existence. You're existing in this person. So that is not what we are talking about. We're talking about emulation. If you want to emulate somebody, forget about the wrong ones. I know most times we don't even know that what we are copying is actually the wrong thing that can lead us, that can either make us or mar us.
Yeah.
We want to copy and copy everything. So in this situation, you copy just the good thing. This is what we are projecting to the world. This is what we are projecting to our audience. Copy the good things and forget about the bad ones. And then the next one I'll mention is consistency. You should be consistent in, okay, let's say this person has good qualities. This person is transparent. This person is always telling the truth. This person is hardworking. This person is trustworthy. This person is authentic. Very important. Not someone who fakes his or her living pattern or his or her living. Maybe the person is, let's use these celebrities for instance. It could be that indoors, this person does not even have a dime, does not have kobo attached to his or her name. But on social media, you see fleet of cars, you see, I own so many plots of lands, I do this, I do that. That is not being authentic. This person is not being authentic. But to you, copying from this person or trying to emulate this person, you might not really know that this person is only living a life of lies, is only living false life, living a life of pretense. You just want to copy. If you want to copy, you should know this person in depth. You should know why or who you are copying and not just copying from the surface. Do you understand?
Yes.
We are copying Christ. Christ expects us to be just like he created us from out of his image and likeness. He expects us to do the things he does, just that we cannot do 100%.
True.
We cannot be 100% like Christ, but he expects us out of 100% at least attempt 50, at least attempt a reasonable percentage.
Fair enough.
Yes, that is why we study Christ. We know the things he does. We know his actions. We know, even if we don't know everything about Christ, but at least you know a certain reasonable percentage of Christ. So whoever you are emulating, whoever is a role model, you should be able to know this person in depth. You should be able to know a reasonable percentage of this person, not just copying or emulating from the surface. I don't want to talk too much.
Thank you so much. So, conclusively, I would love Sister Peace to give us a balanced landing. At this particular point in time, would you say that we should all live a life worthy of emulation? Then who is going to emulate us?
Please repeat your question.
If we are all living a life worthy of emulation at this particular point in time, who then is going to emulate us?
I heard the first time.
All
So I
right.
wanted you to say it, to listen to yourself as well. Okay, when we live a life, if all of us live a life of worthy of emulation, then who will copy us? I think the world will be a better place at that
I
point.
needed
Do you
that to come
understand?
out.
Because if you do what is right, you understand. Stella was outlining some of those steps for you to,
Live a life
worthy of emulation. Then there's something I wanted to add.
All right.
I feel this will also help in my answer, and that is starts with your inner character, not outer image. What do I mean? Before anything else, work on who you are when nobody's watching you. Do you understand? You don't have to live a life just to paint an image in front of other persons. Who are you when no one is watching? Who is P. Smith when no one is watching? Who is Eric when no one is watching? That's where you should start from. And when you are able to build that, then someone somewhere, you may not necessarily know that, even while in your inner, while trying to build your inner self, someone is actually also hiding to watch you while you are in your inner self.
Yeah.
So if we all should look at our inner self when no one is watching, I think the world will be a better place.
Sure.
Because you will not be thinking of how if Stella is better than you or if you are better than another person. Remember, the Father teaches us to count others better than ourselves. So by the time you're trying to emulate another person, I mean, let me leave the word emulate at this context. By the time you're trying to imitate another person, you're comparing yourself with another person. You lost yourself while trying to find yourself in another person. So let's try to live a life worthy of emulation by building our inner self when no one is watching. If we all should look at life the way it is, I am who I am perfect, I am beautiful, I am bold, I am courageous. The way I am a perfect picture of myself, a perfect handwork of God, the perfect version of myself. If all of us should think that way, trust me, the world will be a better place. There will be no jealousy, no anger, no envy, no whatever that you think would cause chaos in the world. I think there will be no such things.
All right, thank you so much. So at the end of the day, I think we have gotten a balance. Now we understand that our Father is the greatest of all, and this is the one we must emulate at every point in time. He has proven it beyond every doubt. He has given us a mandate that we should love ourselves and for truth. If we love ourselves as He has taught us, definitely there will be no problem. We have to live a life worthy of emulation because we owe these to our Father. He has made us who we are. We have to understand that we have to be like Him. He has given us this wonderful mandate. So, as children of God, we have to make sure we live a life worthy of emulation. You must love your neighbor. You must spread the good works of our Father, encourage charity, give out alms to those that are in need. Make sure you live peaceably with all men. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of this wonderful segment. All right, we'll be going on a break, and when we come back, we are having yet another beautiful segment with His Grace Solomon David. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Let your light shine out bright through the darkened wall, so that people Lumba, we must do the right. Don't let people blaspheme him because of you. Because we are ambassadors of Christ, you know, chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be friends. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference.
We must prove to the world we are gospel bearers. We belong to line of tribe of Judah. We must give helping hands to less privileged. We must preach this gospel to the dying world. Because we are ambassadors of Olumba, chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of our Father. Let's be the difference.
We must go to Macedonia and preach the word. We must go to Pakistan and stop the war. We must let Israel know He's in Africa. We must tell the Greece and Australia. Because we are ambassadors of Olumba Obu. Yes, we are chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Oh yes, representing Little Lumba with His gospel of His gospel. Let's be the difference. Oh, let's be the difference.
Let's be the
Let's be giving helping hands to each other. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of Let's be the difference. Let's
shine out bright through the darkened world, so that people be saved through the light in you. Representing Little Lumba, we must do the right. Don't let people blaspheme him because of you. Because we are ambassadors of Christ, you know, chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference.
We must prove to the world we are gospel bearers. We belong to line of tribe of Judah. We must give helping hands to less privileged. We must preach this gospel to the dying world. Because we are ambassadors of Olumba, chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Let's be the difference. Representing Little Lumba with His gospel of truth. Our Father. Let's be the difference.
We must go to Macedonia and preach the word. We must go to Pakistan and stop the war. We must let Israel know He's in Africa. We must tell the Greece and Australia. Because we are ambassadors of Olumba Obu. Yes, we are chosen to prove His excellency. Let's be the difference.
Welcome back. Many thanks for joining us. We are still on the Morning Star Breakfast Show here on Star Cross Television, and right now we are moving into a beautiful segment with a very wonderful child of God, no other person than His Grace Solomon David. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, perfect peace of our Father.
Perfect peace be with you, sir.
Good morning, General.
Morning.
Good morning to you, Your Grace.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, last week we had a very wonderful segment with you, and we hope today that you will be wrapping up for all our choir masters. So over to you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. In the name of our Lord Jesus.
Lord of our Lord Jesus Christ, now
Amen.
and forevermore.
Amen.
I know there is anything the Father plants stays. Anything he does not plant does not stay. The Father planted a group of people called the panel of judges. and he wants them to assess his children and see how the children can sing better. So the purpose of the panel of judges is not punitive. It's not just to come and give marks or subtract marks, but to ensure that we abide by the goals and the objective of our Father, which is to make sure that choristers are better. So the primary objective of a panelist is to find fault and correct those faults. So while others are clapping, the panelist should not clap. Let me go straight away to say that no matter how pleased you are as a panelist, you don't begin to clap for any choir that is mixing up what you think you are doing. So assessment in choral competitions could be very subjective, with variable results based on the abilities and the competencies and the experiences of the judges. So for you to be picked as a judge, you must have experience. So you must have deep expertise in choral music, you must have deep expertise in vocal techniques, repertoire, and conducting. You must show objectivity and fairness, unbiased. Star-Crossed Choir is my choir. If they come in and they do not sing well, as a panelist, I'll give them 0. You must be constructive. Don't just criticize. You must have negative and positive comments. And then you must encourage, have an encouraging communication style. You must have strong listening and analytical skills for quick, accurate assessment. You must show empathy and professionalism. If someone is singing on stage and falls because of nature, health, you shouldn't penalize such a person. You should put your place in that person's position. You must have judicial temperament, not because someone has missed a mark or did well in a particular piece. When you go to the next piece, you should not carry it over and say because it's not very good. You can be good in matching song and not do well in the set piece. Panelists must look out for the balance of parts, tone quality, and the blend of voices. That is what makes good singing. The tone quality is concerned with the overall style of the tone, the vowel, the consonant sounds, enunciation, and articulation. Now, another very strong point of a panelist is comment writing. You must be able to summarize your comment, and the comment should help you. Please listen to these 2 comments. The first comment, zigzag procession and poor stage formation. The conductor could not distinguish between conducting a standing and kneeling choir. Poor baton handling, conducting out of the bar, poor enunciation of nasal and end consonants, inability to express musical expressions. However, the choir got all the keys and maintained the tonality. Unhappy and unexpressive choir, poor barring of parent song, poor scripting, unappealing lyrics that did not also match the sound of the notes. If this is your summary of the comments on a choir, such a choir cannot score more than 40 of the total marks. Another time, another choir comes in, and as a panelist, you write, good procession, exuding confidence as they marched in, good stage formation, good baton handling, good conducting, conductor conducted at the vision level of the singers. The conductor communicated well with the choir and cued the choir appropriately, and the choir responded to his gesticulations, demonstrating good skills and leadership. Poor barring of parent songs, but good lyrics and sound agreement, proper enunciation and articulation of words. The performance expressed musical creativity and originality, however, lost keys at the cadence. You could see that the good is more than the poor. So this choir is justified to score above 75%.
Your Grace, can I come in at this point in time?
Please do.
Now I have listened on the both comments
that you have just made mention. The other one carried a lot of bad, and this other one carried a lot of good comments. So at no point in time can they just have, if they have all good comments, are there possibilities that the choir can be hitting 99 to 100%?
Okay, because we are dealing with social sciences and we are not perfect. Humans are not perfect.
It will be very difficult unless you are doing objective. It will be very difficult to score 100 over 100 or 99 over 100 for a choir. Because while that choir is impressing you, so that you don't make them feel that they have arrived, there's a sign of perfection as if they are God themselves. You now start to look for faults. You look for the facial expression of the choir master. You look for the way he's holding the baton. You look for the color of his gloves. You look for the color of the baton. You look for how he's standing, whether he's standing on the balls of his feet. You look at conducting at eye level. You look at the base of it. You look at the string, whether he's taking his hand to the wings, right? You look at the choristers, where their hand positions. You look at uniformity. You look at harmonization. You look at the end consonants. So by the time you think they are doing very well, you must find fault. That's why I say that the ideal duty of the panelists is to find fault in order to score them appropriately. So me, no matter how good you sing, it will be very difficult for me to score you 95. Keep that 5 marks for the father. I can give you 90, 93, 94, and the rest, but you cannot score.
All right, thank you so much, Your Grace. It is very funny. I'm just laughing as you're explaining. Because at some point in time, but do you think in the future, if the choir masters continue to abide by the principles given to them by the panel of judges, do you think they can arrive at a level of perfection?
And every time they keep upgrading, we thank our Father, the King of Intelligence, the Omniscient Father, for bringing Brotherhood Music Academy. If we keep on improving, organizing seminars, reading up documents on the net and asking questions from experienced choir masters, we can get to the point where you get the choral etiquette, choral stage or stage choral etiquette, whereby you know exactly what the panel is looking for when you are marching in. You know your hand position, how it should be. You know how you should kneel. You know how you should stage formation. You know how you should strike, the cadences and the attacks. When you know all these things, the panel will drop viral and just be smiling. At the end, when they have nothing to write, so that nobody blames them, we can all get there. And that is that perfection that our Father is wanting us to come into. Our Father is a perfect being, and we want to pursue him in perfection. That's why he gave us white for purity, for perfection. So a time can come when the junior choir masters can also learn. I didn't go to music school, but I learned a lot from choir masters who were amateur, but had so much experience that even if they had gone to music school, it wouldn't be long, they would have graduated with good grades. So look at composition. Most of them are beautiful composers, and I learned a lot from them. I can put their names any day, anytime. One of them is Pastor E. Akpan of Abasiobori, whom when I was in Unical, I attached myself and I asked him questions until he was tired. He said, Bro Zulu, you do ask questions, because I never got tired of trying to know. So a time like that can come in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Grace. Thank you so very much for this amazing lecture. So I have a question for you, although this question was meant for last week, because you made mention of, is it key resolution, something like that?
Yeah, about the keys.
Last week, Wednesday. So the question is, most times while when song precisely is composed in key C, for instance, and then the organist happens to play key F. In that situation, who is to be penalized? Is it the choir or the organist?
Well, if the organist has his piece of music
in his hands, there's no way he can press the wrong key unless human error. If he presses the wrong key and the choir master hears that he's supposed to strike and choristers are not striking well, he can turn and tell him to look at it again. So the choir master can look at it again. The members of the panel will also look at it. No, that does not sound like key C. And then there's always another instrument lying on the table of the panel to confirm what the pianist is doing. So in that case, the choir cannot be blamed. Because if you tune and they start wrongly, we'll tell you to cut, you tune again and tune correctly, the choir sings.
Okay.
Where we penalize people for, yeah.
Okay, so what
Okay.
happens if the organist did this mistake at the end of the singing, by the choir? What happens?
Okay. So like cutting E, and instead of pressing F, when it presses G, it was F.
And it all looks like the choir sang something wrong, using the wrong key.
Yes. It is not impossible as humans. I cannot sit here and defend because we are all humans. It is not impossible. But then there is always a cross-check. Whenever the main pianist plays, there's another person who sits on the table, the panel chairman, to ensure that that key enters. Because you have already, as a panelist, you have trained your ear, oral perception. You have trained your ear to know key F. And that choir was singing, and he just said, wow. He thought, is that incorrect? That's when you can see panelist turning. I'm sure that thing is out too. Well, press it, let's see. No. Do not turn and tell him again, you press. So it is difficult for the panel to miss it, the pianist to miss it, and the choir to be given a wrong mark. It will be very difficult because we check all these things also as cross-check.
All right, thank you so much, Your Grace.
At this point in time, I believe we must state that all choir masters watching are definitely learning, and they will be preparing for that forthcoming mega event. So what can you give us a tip for the forthcoming mega event?
The mega event is not meant for choral competition. And that is what I want to keep telling our choir masters. The mega event is to go and celebrate with our Father on the Silver Jubilee. So we should not carry our choristers to one classroom or one Bethel and remain there perpetually and for miss every other thing until when we say, come and sing, you now call, but they don't call, they don't ballot, you now rush, and after singing, it disappears. That is very amateurish and unprofessional. So now, as you are coming in, remember that these are the things as a choir master and a choir, these are the things you are supposed to do. The set pieces have been set out. The parent songs are supposed to match a particular time limit so that you don't stay too long on stage. Your conducting should be top notch. Please don't come there with brown button because you lose marks. Don't come there and be beating your chest and be jumping up and down. This caricaturized conducting. Conduct well so that non-brotherhood outside watching will know that, oh, this is standard choir that is singing. Because these competitions will be aired to the outside world. When you match in your choir, yes, this time you are allowed to come in with 20,000 choristers if you can. At this time, nobody cares. But no choir master should come and feel the panel will score them because they came with 20 million choristers. A state that is unable to carry more than 50 choristers and they come with 50 and vibrate and get all the technical details that are needed in a song, surprisingly, and I assure you that a state will beat a state with 2,000 choristers. That is an assurance. So don't believe in this large number and mercenary stuff. Next, do not, because they say crescendo, bring down the whole. Let music be music. Let shouting be shouting. Because the panel never stopped to say a shouting choir. Choir came in for shouting competition. Because despite the entertainment value, we still know good singing, good tonal quality, good control, good diction, good conducting. Good stage formation also. The fact that you are coming with so large a number does not mean you cannot compress your choristers to be able to take the stage that is allocated. If a small choir comes in, maybe with 50 cm between one chorister and the other chorister, because you are coming with a very large choir, you can make what you call shoulder to shoulder merging, and then you do choir in a choir. Choir in a choir means treble, alto, tenor, bass, treble, alto, tenor, bass, treble, alto, tenor, bass, or sat B. That is what we call choir in a choir, so that the echo effect, the stereo effect will be felt. The echo will not be too much. If you put too much of the first front singers, too much of the altos, and then bass at the very back, they may not hear them very well. So arrange them choir in a choir. Leadership is what makes a choir master, not just because you can compose or you have a good voice or you can conduct, but your ability to lead humans. That's what makes you a choir master. From the Bethel choir master to the choir master general of Brotherhood of the Cross and Star. Even as a CMG, it is not your ability to compose that makes you a CMG. It's choral leadership and discipline. As you are coming in on stage, remember choral discipline, musical discipline, and non-musical discipline. A musical discipline includes your attacks, your cadences, your releases, your flow, your diction, your breath pressure. While the non-musical discipline are those things you do on stage, turning unnecessarily poor attention, poor choral stage etiquette, which you will have learned if you had been able to get the how to win in a competition, which is in the Total Master. If you read the Total Master and read what the panelists do, you will pass this competition and get the best. Get those 2 chapters in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you so much. So conclusively,
For us before you sign out, sir.
Have done the musicianship by teaching them the songs you want them to learn. We have done that musicianship. What we need to know is the showmanship and the expression. Showmanship is the actual performance on stage in relation to the given songs. It involves show design, entertainment, and value. It assesses the musical selection, effective use of the stage and performance area, conducting the outfit and the style, capturing the interest of the audience and sustaining that interest until the end. Don't come in with a boring 1-hour parent song and think you are the best composer. Bring in a stimulating parent song that in 5 minutes you are done and you leave the stage and they'll keep clapping even when you have reached the gate. Look out for singers who give something special. That's what the panelists will do. We are looking for somebody who gives something special, something unique, a different type of stage formation that comes in different way, not just the regular pattern. The panel will be bamboozled. As the panelists, we're also looking to produce pleasant and pleasurable sound. You are bringing your parents' song, which is not well scripted. That maybe somebody does not have a good handwriting, and you are scripting it poorly, and you are bringing. Panel will look at it. There is mark for scripting. There is mark for scripting. Then when you come in with a parent song that is not English, if you do not interpret it, you lose marks. There is loss of marks for non-interpretation, non-summarization of the competition. Don't start turning to the panel to see whether they're clapping for you. Detach yourself. Be in the audience. Try to make them happy. Pass a message. Don't give these watery lyrics. John said, John Guyombo, Daniel Peter, those cliches, those popular cliches that people have used over the time. You know, Boroboro. So you must assess the match and the chemistry, and you must adapt to the settings confidently. So you now assess, we are supposed to assess as panelists how well the singers are able to express the meaning and the sound of the song. So all the musical expressions, as a choir master, if you're listening, collect the set piece, collect the parents' your matching song, carry red by circle all the musical expressions, tempos, this and all that, circular them. When the choir is now learning, make sure they obey each one of them, because this is what the panel looks for. Let me tell you what the panel quickly looks for. When there is a crescendo, as soon as the crescendo ends and it is kept by another dynamic, a good panelist will go and check the key, because that is when people will shout and raise their voices above, and the key will naturally change. So ensure that your crescendos are not unnecessarily too loud. So you must synchronize your conducting and the choir. Get a good conductor. Some people are not good conductors. You can have a very good composer who is unable to conduct. You have had a very good singer who is unable to compose. You can have a very good writer of songs and all other things, but you cannot do something. So if you know you cannot conduct and you're a choir master, hand it over to someone else who can conduct. That is why we as panelists must not present ourselves as incompetent. So the panelists must go back and read everything. Ideally, the parent songs that we are supposed to assess in next month is supposed to be with the panel by now or in 2 weeks' time, so that we read through and criticize. So just as a medical doctor knows a little of every field in the healthcare, A panelist should know a little of everything in music, even when you have not gone to music school. Read it up. So you should have knowledgeable, unbiased experience and skill. That's what the panel should be. And then you remember you are conducting dues. As a choir master, do not stamp your feet while conducting. Do not crouch like gorilla while conducting. Do not be rigid and then they just be like that. Your body is not flexible. Do not take your eyes off your choir. Do not be emotional. You sing on stage and start crying. That's your business. All of us are emotional. We can also cry. We're all praised. We're all in religion styles. Do not dance to the song because you are. So remember, we are conducting for entertainment and the lyrics are unique. The best parent song may not be well rendered on stage. That we know. The best parent song may not be well rendered on stage. So you may see somebody whose song was not very sweet on stage. It was poorly presented. It gave us the good quality. You can hear someone says, there is no music in that song. A lot of repetitions, watery lyrics, uninteresting lyrics. So the parent songs you are bringing should have melody, harmony, not too long, good dynamics. Unnecessary dynamics should be avoided. What of the structure? Not bring boring parent song that selected voices and they just call and response. What of the texture, bridge, intro, and the race chorus and all that? What of the timbre and the form? You are giving us selected voices. What are the people you are picking for selected voices? Do they have the same timbre? Not just because the person knows the song. You must have the same timbre. If it is light timbre you want, if it is lesser, let them play. They teach you to have full round tone. Only an ideal choir master can effectively and efficiently adjudicate in a choral competition. He knows the rudiments and he knows the requirements of good singing. So your fundamental duty as a choir master, you critique, you find fault, and you correct the fault for growth. The choir with the least fault wins the competition now and forevermore.
Amen. Thank you so much, Your Grace, for coming through for us. Thank you.
God bless you immensely. Until next week, Wednesday, we'll be having a very new topic from you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Father bless.
All right. All right, thank you so much. Up next, we are moving into a very wonderful and amazing segment with a lady from Bayelsa State. Her name is Abi Mobore Rex. Good to have you, Sister Abi.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sister Fees. And good morning, Sister Stella Obina. Yeah.
And good morning to our audience. Are you not going to tell them good morning?
Okay, thank you very much for the reminder. Okay, good morning to our beloved audience. Yeah. Welcome to Today in History / infotainment for you. Remember, infotainment is meant for you, our audience. Yes, we love you so much. That's why we are bringing infotainment for you, where you get to share your information to the wider public. So yes, let's go straight to Today in History for you. Today happens to be the 11th day in the month of February, and let's get to hear what are those wonderful things that took place today in different years. So moving straight to number 1 for today, we have the European 1-2 Day. European 1-2 Day is observed annually on February 11 across the European Union to raise awareness about the single European emergency number, which is 112. The date itself symbolically reflects the emergency number 112, making it both memorable and meaningful, established following a 1991 decision by the Council of the European Committees. 112 was introduced to ensure that anyone in distress anywhere within the EU member state could dial a single universal emergency number free of charge. Before the adoption of 112, each European country had its own emergency number, creating confusion for travelers and cross-border workers. The European Union, seeking greater unity and citizen protection, mandated that all member states implement the 112 alongside their national emergency number. Today, dialing 112 connect callers to police, fire service, or medical assistance in all EU countries, as well as it's in several non-EU countries. Moving forward, we also have here the Armed Force Day, Liberia. It commemorates every year on February 11th, the observant honored the men and women who served in the armed force of Liberia and traced its origin to the establishment of Liberia's military structure in the early 20th century. Liberia, founded in the year 1847 by freed African American, developed its armed force to protect sovereignty and also maintain national stability. Historically, Liberia's military has undergone significant transformation, especially following the devastating civil war between the 1989 and the 2003. This conflict severely weakened the country's institution, including the military. In the post-war reconstruction period, the AFL was restructured with international support, particularly from the United States, to become a professional a political force committed to democratic principles. Armed Force Day include parades, ceremonies, and presidential address. It also serves as a reminder of sacrifice, patriotism, and the responsibility of the military to protect constitutional order. Moving forward, we will have here the Evelio Java Day. This is observed on February 11 in the Philippines, particularly in the province of Antique, to honor the governor Evelio B. Java. Java was known for his opposition to electoral fraud and dictatorship. Following the controversial 1984 election, he challenged results he believed were manipulated. His assassination became a powerful symbol of resistance against the authoritarian rule, and which also ultimately led to the fall of the Marcos and the restoration of democracy. The day therefore stands not only as a memorial but also a reminder of the civic courage, democratic struggle, and the cost of political integrity. It is marked by ceremonies, reflection, and educational activities emphasizing human rights and democratic values. Moving forward, we also have the World Day of the Sick, established in 1992 by the Pope John Paul II. The World Day of the Sick is observed annually on February 11th, aligning instituted aimed growing awareness of suffering caused by illness such as AIDS and global health challenges. The day calls for compassion towards the sick and also recognition of healthcare workers. The observance encourages prayers and pastoral care and solidarity with those who suffer physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Each year, the Pope releases a special message highlighting the theme of mercy, dignity, and hope. The significance of this day lies in reaffirming the value of human life and advocating for equitable health care system worldwide. Moving forward, we also have the National Foundation Day, Japan. This celebrate National Foundation Day on February 11th, commemorating the legacy accession of Emperor Jimmu in the year 660 BCE, considered the mythical founding of Japan. The holiday was formally established in the late 19th century during the Meiji era to promote national unity and imperial reverence. Though discontinued after World War II, it was reinstated in the 1966 under a new name to avoid imperialist overtones. The day fosters reflection on Japan's history, culture, and identity. It also symbolizes continuity, tradition, and national pride, while acknowledging the blend of myth and recorded history in Japan's origin. Moving forward, we also have here Youth Day Cameroon, commemorated in the year 1961, in which the British Southern Cameroon votes to join the Republic of the Cameroon. The event shaped the country's political future. Youth Day also emphasized the role of young people in nation building. Celebration includes parade, cultural display, debates, and presidential speeches, encouraging patriotism and civic responsibilities. Moving forward, we also have the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 2015. The International Day of Women and Girls in Science is observed on February 11th. It also addresses gender disparities in STEM field. Historically, women like Rosalind and Ada Lovelace made groundbreaking contribution despite discrimination. Today, women remain underrepresented in engineering, technology, and advanced scientific research. The day also promotes equal access to education, mentorship, and leadership in science. It's also aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, particularly gender equality and quality education, emphasizing that inclusive science drive innovation and global progress. Moving forward, we also have the Nelson Mandela's release from prison 1990. On February 11, 1990, after 27 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela was released from Victor Verster prison near Cape Town, South Africa. His imprisonment began in the year 1962 due to an anti-apartheid activism and intensified after the 1964 trial. Mandela's release followed mounting international pressure, economic sanction, and internal unrest. President F.W. de Klerk initiated reform recognizing apartheid on sustainability. Mandela's freedom marked the beginning of negotiations that dismantled apartheid, leading to the multiracial election in the year 1994 and Nelson and Mandela's presidency. His release also symbolized reconciliation, forgiveness, and democratic transformation. Moving forward, we also have the National Latte Day. This is celebrated annually on February 11th. This honors one of the world's most beloved coffee beverage, originating in Italy. This blend espresso and steamed milk. The drink gained global popularity in the 20th century as coffee culture expanded, particularly in the United States. Today the latte represents creativity, community, and craft culture. The day also celebrates not just a beverage, but a social space where conversation, ideas, and creativity flourish. Moving forward, we also have the National Inventors Day, celebrated in the United States. This is celebrated on February 11th, the birthday of Thomas Edison. National Inventors Day honor innovations established by President Ronald Reagan in the year 1983. It recognizes the transformative power of invention from the light bulb to modern digital technology. The day encourages creativity and also celebrates individuals whose idea improve human life. Moving forward, we have the Daytona Pole Day. This Daytona Pole Day precedes the Daytona 500 in Florida, determining starting position of the NASCAR most prestigious race held at Daytona International Speedway. It showcases speed and precision. The event built anticipation for the Great American Race, reflecting the cultural significance of motorsports in American sporting tradition. Moving forward, we also have the last for today is the National Get Out Your Guitar Day, observed on February 11th. This day encourages musicians and hobbyists to recover their guitars. It's the guitar central to journey from classical to rock has shaped global musical culture. The day also promotes artistic expression, creativity, and the joy of music making. Yes, that's all we have for you under Today in History. Going over to infotainment. Sorry, we're not able to get anybody to celebrate. I don't know why you are not sending. If you are a person, you know anybody that is celebrating their birthday on a particular day, you can also use this avenue to send us their pictures, and we'll also say that you are the one that is celebrating them on StarCross Television. So please do well to celebrate your loved ones, your friends, your just anybody you love. Just even though you don't love them and you know a particular person celebrating his or her birthday on a particular day, please do well to send their information to us 24 hours before the day, and we'll do justice to celebrate or package that wonderful celebration in a nice way. Yes, so today happens to be Wednesday. It's also Watch and Pray, so please do well to attend Watch and Pray. And lastly, for infotainment is testimony and experience. Yes, we'll be sounding it every day. Please, if you have testimony, please do well to contact Sister Stella Obina and also share your testimony, because it will go a long way to those who are having those doubts, who don't have belief, or it will also serve as a path to direct a person's faith towards our Father. So please do well to share your testimony and experience to Sister Stella Obina. Yes, thank you very much. That's all I have for you under Today History /infotainment. Thank you very much, Bro Eric. Thank you very much, Sister Peace and Sister Stella Obina.
Thank you so much for giving us what you have for us today. So we are signing out, but before we sign out, I need one or two words from my colleague. I'll be starting with you, Sister Peace. What do you have? Your final words for our audience.
Okay, the words I have to say is that remember to always support Starcross Television, and of course to I think monthly support goes for 1,000 naira, while yearly goes for 12,000 naira. So ensure that you participate in these blessings.
All right, thank you so much. You've heard it from my colleague. You have to do well to make sure you support Starcross Television at all cost. Now, away from that, remember our topic of discuss today was all about emulation, and it is very good that we understand that the key factor that we have to put in place is that we do not have to imitate. We do not have to compete. It is different from you competing and also imitating. Emulating is very different. And our Father has shown and has proven beyond every reasonable doubt that He is the one we have to look up to and imitate at every point in time. So do well to imitate our Father and see what comes out in play. Sister Stella, your final words for us.
Okay, thank you so very much. Still on our topic of discuss emulation, if you actually want to really emulate someone, do well to emulate the good virtues. Do well to also pick the values that it's much more unique to you. Do not just copy everything and then just want to be a copycat all through. Thank you so very much.
All right, this is how far we can go on today's episode. Do well to make sure you make someone happy. Stay in love, stay in peace, stay in harmony, and stay in unity. Enjoy the rest of the program on Starcross Television. Bye for now.